Aussie. 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 Angry Aussie. Aussie. Angry.
Hey, a new week of streams, depending when you think the week starts. Some people think it starts on Sunday. Some people think Sunday's the last day of the week. And I don't stream on Mondays as a rule, so first day of the week if you think Monday's the first day of the week. Justin, open them with a spray on Dutton. Yes, absolutely. Garbage. And Labor has to go hard on that. That Dutton's grand plan is to directly put 36,000 people out of work. And the whole work from home thing, I mean, God, I could go on about that no friggin' end. It's just the sign of a bad manager. Hey, Home for the Elderly, how are you going? What happened in relation to what? In relation to Dutton? If that's what you're asking, in a press conference, he said he's going to force federal public servants to return to the office 5 days a week if he wins the election. And people said, like, you know, that would disadvantage disproportionately women who, again, disproportionately have the majority of home duties. And there was just some gratuitous comment about, yeah, they could job share. And it's just like, there's your opening, Labor. He was always going to be a fucking steaming pile of shit on workplace rights, industrial relations. You need to just go hard with the fact they do, whether they go public with it or not, the coalition do legitimately want to get rid of basically every worker protection, overtime pay, leave entitlements, protections against sacking. They just want to fuck workers 6 ways from Sunday. And it is really strange to me that Dutton, unprompted, went on this no more working from home, that he thinks it's going to win him any votes. I mean, like, there is, you know, it could be widespread. People go, oh, public servants, bludgers, I can't work from home, bludgers. And I have no doubt there are people who think like that. I just don't think you're changing their votes by saying public servants are going back to work and I'm going to sack 36,000 of them. Maybe I'm incredibly naive. I just don't see that as a vote winner. I see it as playing to the cheap seats, and it can work like that, but it's, you know, going to appeal to people who were already voting for the coalition. I don't think Labor will do that because they're too conservative and they're too in bed with the corporate world. But I think they should go really hard on how fucking stupid this bullshit is. Yeah, I don't think the Dutton shares thing has legs. And they're too scared to go at him for owning lots of property because the majority of Labor politicians own multiple properties. Yeah, I've said it before and I'll say it again. A serious criminal investigation into Dutton's past and how he went from being a Queensland cop to having all this money. I just, you know, I'm not convinced he'd come out of that very well. Yeah, I think and I've said this before. I've seen them do one ad like, "Hey, look, we did these things to help with cost of living," and and Dutton opposed every single measure. They have to just like go fucking hard. Like, Dutton doesn't give a shit about you. You know, Labor might not be perfect, but Dutton just absolutely does not give a shit about you. Because that motherfucker does not give a shit. Luigi, hello. Been without internet for a week. You're on mobile data. Rented 330 on normal connection with Google Internet, got ping exceeding 230. Okay. Talking tech. What you think work? Well, okay. Office workers. Yes. You know, it is the limited spectrum of the population who'd benefit from it. And again, you know, what are my political takes with? I don't run campaigns and all that thing, but I'm going off gut. I'm going off gut feel. I'm going off the pub test. Doesn't pass the sniff test. That doesn't feel like a vote winner for me for Labor to say, you know, going to enshrine the right to work from home where it's practical. Doesn't sound like a particular vote winner to me. And like I said, my personal opinion of Labor is they're too conservative and too sucky with corporate world to vocally go that way. But they can just sit back and be non-committal. And when Dutton says ridiculous, pointless fucking shit, they can use it to beat him over the head, and they should. Because that I reckon that was a really weird own goal for Dutton. He's so fucking entrenched in culture war bullshit. And because you do get braying fucking dingoes going, yeah. I just don't think it's a net vote winner for him at all. I did actually see that. Or they're waiting to see the impact of the cyclone before he declares an election. But I mean, what's he got to do? 4 weeks? So there's broad expectation he would call it in the next week or two. But yes, if he's waiting to see the impact of the cyclone, then he may well wait longer. We get a mass network issue in Indiana this week. Mum does insurance from home, job servers all the time. Damn. Yep. Infrastructure be like that. It goes down, it goes down. There was a blackout in the city today, the sort of opposite corner of the city to where I was, so it didn't affect me. But apparently, lots of buildings just lost power. So I'm assuming they all lost, well, their computers and their freaking internet connectivity. But it's a whole thing. Oh, yeah, I do actually agree that waiting to see the impact of the cyclone, there are a number of reasons that make sense. So, and of course, we hope the cyclone is not too bad because it has the potential to be one of the most damaging Australia's ever seen. Could hit major population centres. So we're just sitting here hoping it doesn't. And I suppose we get lots of rain a week later. They can't predict that thing, but Bomb was predicting a really fucking hot week. 31 today, still 30 now. 33 tomorrow. Then 27, 30, 33, 29, 26. And maybe a bit of rain on Sunday or Monday. But, I mean, a freaking tropical cyclone could fuck up the weather patterns completely. So we don't know. Look, you're doing your techie stuff, tracking the issue with IP version 6 not working. But the mobile networks were unaffected. Yeah. Yeah, I believe everyone's friggin' bracing themselves in Brisbane and other major population centres in Queensland. HomeForTheLDly, you got to go out in half an hour. Mum's best friend, town from Wales. Nice. Oh, and did you see note the title of the stream? HomeForTheLDly? I think you wanted me to wait for party night to open that, didn't you? I haven't opened it yet. Yes, Sunshine Coast is one of the many areas under threat. Yes, okay, and the thumbnail. Yes, of course I put it in the thumbnail. It's huge. It is huge. It really took me by surprise. Do the small one. Okay, I do have the small one here, which I also haven't opened. Okay, what do we got here? Actually, I was just going to say, I got a very pretty postcard from Safa. He's not here yet. Albury Wodonga. It's a dam at Albury Wodonga, apparently. Small ones for cocktail mix. Okay, let's have a look. What's in here? Oh, it's coming apart pretty easily. Well, it's all securely packed in bubble wrap. All right. Yeah, let's see if my... Oh yeah, that's plenty sharp enough to do that. Oh, here we go. Neither of them fit in my PO box, but for smaller parcels, they leave you a key for a bigger parcel box. But I had to. Ooh! Oh, what's this? What's this? What's this? It is battery charger, batteries, and a charger. That's a specific GoPro battery charger. Ah, thank you. That is extremely practical. I appreciate that. Bah. Yeah, I'm going to keep this in here, I think. Oh, wait, do I have a spare USB port here? So 2 GoPro batteries, a specific charger for them. Rain, you come to rant. The unboxing's over. Send it. Okay, I'm going to lose that comment. Send it to me on Discord. Send you a postcard. Or be like Safa. Send me a postcard, and I'll send you a postcard back. Okay, oh, that's a nicely bound. I thought it was a wrap. Okay, the unboxing's over. And hello, Madam Butterfly, as well. So I wonder how long these take to charge. Probably depends what I plug this thingy into, yeah? Do you have a USB port on that? I do not. Because I think if you plug it into the USB on the laptop, it doesn't charge particularly fast. Been having problems with GoPro Hero. This is supposed to last 5 times longer than a standard battery? Okay. I want to see how this shit works. Yeah, unboxing's over. That was it. And hey, Pat, how you doing? All right, cool. Actually, I think do I have a USB directly into a PowerPoint over here? Maybe, maybe not. No, there we go. I'm going to do it over here. Okay. I just gotta reach down here. Ah! Come on, goddammit. Oh, so awkward. There we go. Oh yeah, we got a little charging light. Alright, we're gonna give that a go. Okay, set that to charge. Right. Fucking Trump, eh? Yeah, oh my god. Stopped aid to Ukraine is, well, yeah, it's some fuckery. Yeah, I kind of had hopes of Dutton losing his seat in the last election, but I think he actually increased his margin or something. Told the Pentagon not to treat Russia as it's just like we're through the looking glass, people. It's like nothing makes sense anymore. And I do kind of agree, Loogie, it was bad to happen, but yeah. Did I say hello, Celtic? Hello, Celtic. Pat having best good day. Nice. Right, what am I doing here? All right. Just checking. All right. Sorry, I'm just going to open Discord while we're. All right, that's done. That's done. That's done. So, home for the elderly. Am I right? You want me to save the big parcel for party night? I think there's a solid chance of Trump helping Albanese because Dutton and the other conservatives seem obsessed with parroting Trump stuff. And Albanese was actually doing it today, saying Dutton and his bullshit, killing work from home thing. He's just, you just saw this stupid shit they're doing in America and you thought we'll have some of that. Like, bugger off. Yeah, I think rational people are having trouble wrapping their head around Trump's behavior. I think particularly European people. Thanks, Celtic. I think it's true. This is one of the more abstract ones, but you get down here and it's got cocktails. It's got that 50s, 60s vibe. Big price for me. You're gonna there's something that's I'm gonna get a sentence out. Usually I do that on Fridays, Pat. He's already started a few civil wars, only been in office 3 months. Yeah, it is pretty exhausting. And the whole world's living with it, not so much as you folk in the US. That is interesting. Yeah, I agree with you, Justin. Dutton, I think, scored, it was like an unforced error today, own goal. He did not need to say the stupid shit he said, but he went and said it. And I genuinely do not think it'll win him any votes. They'll have people who agree with him, but they were already voting for him. And it could harden some people's resolve to go Labour because it's like, what's this fucking idiot doing? All right. I'm going to put. Well, no, that's an empty can. I don't want an empty can. I want a full can. Ooh, which speech to Congress is coming up? Is that Zelensky? Because the Republicans are going to be complete fucking dickholes about it. All right. Gonna have my non-alcoholic clarify thing. I think the plane crashes are just symbolic. Like, I don't think you can actually blame them on Trump, but I think they're a message from the universe. Oh, Trump is addressing Congress. Well, I don't know. I feel like the Democrats are all too spineless to do much. Expect the polls to lighten up. Yeah, I mean, look, polls. What do they even say? What are they even worth? Gotta pour my tangy non-alcoholic clarified drink. Ooh, me turning over a new leaf. Except there's lots of sugar in that, which is why I'm splitting it with my no sugar mineral water. But yes, Rain, I actually agree with you. If Trump's addressing Congress, I don't know, it might be interesting. If it was a Democratic president addressing Congress, the Republicans would be all rowdy and be complete fucking assholes. But I just kind of think the Democrats won't. But who actually knows? Who was it? Oh yeah, the whole Jan 6 pardons. Yeah. Yep. That's oh yes, one of them who got pardoned has since started shit with law enforcement and got shot dead. Yeah. An unofficial state. See, I haven't been keeping track because um, paying too much attention to what Trump does my head in, so I try not to do it. An unofficial State of the Union address. And again, Jesus, how do his supporters just convince themselves that his brain isn't turning into pudding? Because, like, he can't string a sentence together. It's really weird. That's yummy. But, you know, we're just, you know, what are we, a month into this shit? His supporters are Russian spies. Well, again, the whole thing with the conservatives being the mad supporters of Russia now is somewhere between humorous and hurting my brain. It's because, you know, Russia's now run by a totalitarian fucking powermonger, and they love that shit. A conservative, well, let's just, you know, he's a fascist dictator. Oh my god, just having to talk to someone at work about and their big solution to the Ukraine crisis. Now, you know, America's suspending aid to Ukraine is Ukraine stop fighting. And I was like, or Russia could withdraw. Yeah, but you know, Zelensky's not even that popular. And I went, what the fuck are you talking? Oh, you know, all the Ukrainians I know, and I just barely restrained myself with how many fucking Ukrainians do you know? Also, expats tend to be really conservative fucking bigots. But just like, I just kept saying, a fascist dictator invaded the country. Yeah, but you know, what the fuck are you talking about? No, I shouldn't have said the stuff about wanting to join NATO. I said, well, Ukraine's never getting into NATO, and besides which, people just talking about joining NATO is not justification for a military invasion. And just like when you can just see your points bouncing off someone's head, metaphorically, obviously, but it feels like you can actually see it. It's just like nothing is getting through their fucking thick skull. And it's like, but literally saying the solution to the Russian invasion of Ukraine is to let Russia have what they want. And it's just like, but you know, there's you people, ethnic Russians in Ukraine, and like, for fuck's sake. It's like, it comes down to A fascist dictator invaded. Okay, Pat's fucking obsessed tonight. Okay, Pat, I don't usually do this on a Tuesday, but I'll do it because you're saying you've got a big surprise. So I will put the joining link there. It's just yeah. It's apparently anti-woke means fucking siding with totalitarian Russia. Right, can't wait for Trump's speech. Unofficial State of the Union. Yeah, it's again. He's just going to say a lot of meaningless shit and ramble. Probably say some incredibly offensive shit. Probably threaten a bunch of people. The Republicans will be like performing seals going, ooh, 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 ooh. See, Pat, now your connection's not working. So, see, now this is just... I do the thing. See, your connection's not working. So I don't know what you got going on there, fella. Gecko posted something. What is Urban Dead? I don't even know what it is. Friday, 14th March. Due to an upcoming change in UK website legislation, Online Safety Act comes into force, applying social gaming sites users interact, especially those without strong age restrictions. Possibility of heavy corporate-sized fines, even for solo web projects like this, I've reluctantly included. Doesn't look feasible for Urban Dead to continue operating. For full 19 years, 8 months, 11 days after its quarantine began, Urban Dead will be shut down. No grand finale, no final catastrophe, no helicopter evac. Make your peace or your final stand in whichever part of Morton you called home. The game will be switched off at noon. Games Wiki will be set to read only same day. If Urban Dead's ever revivified, spun off in any way in the future, will be announced on this website. I'll be happy to refund any IP unlock donations made in the past 6 months on request, since this shutdown was an unexpected one. If you're glad the game stayed as long as it did, you can scavenge me a freeze-dried coffee. Okay, I don't even know what that is, but apparently it's a long-running game site. Hey, Jude. Trump's going to have a joint State of the Union, which tells me Musk's... Again, the whole thing with Musk is surreal. And hello, Blur. How are you? Being anti-works. Well, I mean, yeah. It's like people who say they're anti-fascist. Well, just do it like a mathematical equation. The two antis cancel out. So you're just openly admitting to being fascist. But wait, Pat's connection seems to be working now. Pat.
Yep. Hello.
What did you have to tell me?
All right, my bots.
Your boss.
But bots.
Box. Oh, right, the drain. Yeah.
No more today.
Oh, great. Recovery time. Nice.
I done it today.
Nice. Don't need that anymore. Good stuff. Recovery continues.
And tomorrow I'll see doctors again. Tomorrow.
More doctors?
Yeah, tomorrow.
Yeah.
And the 18th another one. My 8. You know that?
Yeah.
And the other one, the 19th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were they cutting some more stuff on the 18th and 19th?
Not a cut. No, look.
Oh, they're having a look.
Yeah, look.
They're checking how you're going on the 18th and 19th.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hopefully it's a good report.
Yeah, I know. Look and see.
Good stuff. Okay, and Blue, doing all right, highs and lows? That sounds like life, my friend. And yes, the religion stuff. Ah, yes. the taking away people's rights in the name of religion. That's going to proceed race. And again, it's so hard to go like these lunatics have only been in power. What are we coming up on 2 months? Not even 2 months. It's wild. Oh yes. Did you see the wrestling thing, Patty? Is John Cena a heel now? He went evil.
I saw that.
The Rock got him to
saw
go evil.
Yeah, I saw that on
Yeah.
Sunday. I saw Cena hug. Yeah. I see it's Rock Wayne. Use this.
Yeah. The Rock says
You there that.
and then he drop kicked him in the nuts.
Yep, face up and gonna attack.
Yeah.
Go to the face.
It's
and I know why. You're there, big day. Yeah, that the two Cena and what it was battle. The big
they're going to have a big battle.
Yep.
Yeah.
I know.
Well, it's who saw it coming? John Cena turning heel. Oh my God!
Sorry, I saw the face.
The face was there.
I saw the face.
Yeah, that's Patty's whole thing. You're gonna see the wrestling, but yes, yes. So will the good guy get revenge in the ring?
Yes. I don't know. I don't know. Look
don't know what's gonna happen. It's a wild and crazy world. World turned upside down. And you know what else is going to happen? John Cena used to visit all the kids with cancer. You know what he's going to do now? He's going to give kids cancer. He's going to go around. he's gone so evil. He's going to find healthy kids and inject them with cancer. That's what he's going to do from now on.
No, you all do, Cena. We're hitting down. You know that.
Yeah. So, that's what's happening. I mean, will Cena start a nuclear war? Probably. He'll at least start, putting chemical weapons in the air vents in shopping malls. I'm actually quite sure. I saw that look in his eye when
me too.
When the Rock told him, I saw that look in his eye. He's going to go, I'm going to go out and after this, I'm going to go out and strangle some kittens. It was just like there's no limit to what Cena will do now. That's a thing, Rain. That is a thing. Cena is definitely going to start injecting cancer into kids.
Well, yeah, I hate Cena.
Yeah, I think The Rock and Cena are just going to do a coast-to-coast series of terrorist attacks. You heard it here first. Let's see. Pat's on board. Pat normally tells me I'm being silly.
I did that is Cena.
Yeah, see, Jude, that's the trouble. You go heel in the WWE, there's no limit to how much evil you do. So that's
you see me. I am recently that man. Yeah, that.
Yeah.
I'm that.
Just like that?
Yeah, attack. We're hit.
Yeah, Pat's going, I know that. When it comes, I got a contract, I go in to get the guy and like that. It's all over.
Yeah, attack.
Yeah, see? Did you all notice Pat actually admitting that how when he goes on the attack, it's like, and
that
when he's got a contract on someone and it's over.
Yep. We're going down.
Just all over, going down. Well, that's just the way it goes, I guess. I know. I'm glad you're having a good time. Enjoy your night. And I guess I'll be really strong-willed and I won't open the huge parcel till later in the week.
Well, you got to have a box.
Yeah, I got sent in the mail a huge box. Look at
Oh,
this.
the fuck! There's a big box.
Ugh, it's huge.
Oh,
Look at that.
it is big.
And I don't know what's in it.
Oh,
And
that beer.
I think it's quite strong willpower on my part that I haven't opened it yet. So what are you betting
Oh.
Zachary Levy will do? Something evil. Oh, God, he's a douche.
Well, who?
Senor Butts, the Rock's a phony, fake positive guy. It's all image, man. It's just a big box. I like. It's just fun to get a big box. Could be injecting crabs too. That's the sort of thing John Cena would do. You know, just like think of
I didn't hate that boy.
all those people dying in the Democratic Republic of Congo, like 100 people, and they get sick and die within 48 hours. John Cena's doing that. He's he just before that WWE, he flew over to Congo, poisoned the water, and killed a bunch of people. That's just what he does now. He roams the world doing evil deeds. Lukey, trying to watch a video, got an anti-porn ad. Nice. Oh dear. Yeah, I feel like the religiosity you're going to cop in the US is just going to get worse and worse. Oh no, I think he was always injecting steroids or human growth hormone into muscles. Like it's just that now he's done a heel turn. He's going to be injecting far worse, just in innocent little kiddies everywhere. It's like
I
make
didn't
a
hate
Wish
that boy.
Foundation. Now it's going to be, I wish John Cena would stop hitting me. You know, it's going to be stuff like that from the kids.
Yeah, I didn't hit back. Hi
Yeah,
there.
I know you would. Remember what Agro used to say? It's not about whether your present's big or small, but how expensive it is. Yes. So who else remembers Agro's cartoon connection?
Yeah, that sounds sound. You know that.
Yeah, it's a whole thing. But Jesus, Agro used to do some inappropriate thing. I'm just remembering some of Agro's misadventures. And there's a lot of and the weirdest thing, the guy who did the voice for for anyone who doesn't know, because you're around the world, Agro was a little puppet, like he's an Australian puppet on kids shows, and he was kind of a cross between Animal and Oscar the Grouch in appearance, and you know he was a bit rude, you know, and he's a bit sassy. Anyway, the guy who did his voice did a radio show in Brisbane for a while, and as Agro, and I'm like, I'm sorry, you're on radio. I can't see the puppet. It's just a dude talking. Zachary Levi. I know exactly who Zachary Levi is. But yeah, they all end up doing conservative shit. Jude, question whether there was room in the house for what? Oh, sorry, movie king. Okay. All right, I missed that.
Oh, me? That's me.
That's you? You're the movie king?
Yeah, look at the YouTube.
Yeah, no, that's okay. Oh yeah, movie king. Look at that. You are.
Yeah, it's me.
You are the movie king. There we go. Now I can see it properly. So I only got a small laptop screen, and my eyes are old, like the rest of me. And I can't see what you young people are doing out there. I need my prescription fixed. No. There we go.
You know about my dad.
Will Vince McMahon ever return to WWE? Beatty's court cases.
No.
No. Okay.
No. I know who the big boss now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Third Ace.
Yeah,
So
but
that's
Pat.
and Mr. McMahon's girl.
Oh yeah, that's right. He's what? He ex-wife, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, yeah,
No. Yeah.
yeah. Oh well, Pat has decreed Vince McMahon not returning, and if Pat lays down the law, that's what's going to happen. Or else, just saying, to all you people out there, you cross Pat, what happens next is on you. Okay? Yeah. You think the Rock's
That.
threatening?
Oh,
Yeah.
better.
Need to have glasses and readers. Oh yeah, no. I am actually going to. I get an eye test every 2 years. I'm due to get an eye test just to see if I need to change my prescription.
My dad had that.
DG70, why would he risk it? Because he's desperate for attention. Rain, got to go. Thanks for hanging out, man. Oh yes, definitely. Vent. They're like, what? Again, our friends in the US have their own frustrations with what's going on. But yes, the people in Europe, particularly in the eastern part of Europe, absolutely agog, I imagine, like, what the fuck? It's just it's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, for mine, you got all these people acting like morally outraged. How dare Trump betray this? And blah, 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 blah. And it's just like it was just amateurish. That watching Trump and Vance is just like, this is amateurish. It's cringy. I'm not feeling morally affronted. I'm just going, God, these guys suck so much. I mean, I could.
Oh, I saw that.
I've actually gotten really good with tidying up in here, and I got more space. I guess I could set up a bigger monitor here, and I guess then I'd want a keyboard because I don't have the monitor up there. I don't want to be looking up like that all the time. I get a sore neck. And there's some monitor there.
Done that. I've done that once.
But if I'm going to close the, I suppose it's not a huge, and I could get a bigger desk. But I mean, I've got a desk. It's look, I'm holding my arms out, going, it's this wide, so you know exactly what I'm saying. It's this wide. If we do this, all right. So it's wider than my arm stretched out. Yeah. So it's well, okay. Forget it. Okay. I'm trying. It's not working. Oh yeah. No. The Trump supporters, the Republicans, the media outlets, they're just reality is not important. It's that simple. Think ACT will be a swing to Labor? Yeah, it is true. I mean, it would be solidified. Like the entire public service is definitely voting against Dutton. Rain, Trump and his lackeys never heard of Budapest Memorandum. Oh, yeah. I mean, dude. Nothing means anything to them. Reality doesn't exist. No form of commitment, treaty, law means anything to them. Loogie, get the Cliffs Notes versions. Truly hate and distrust this government. Oh yeah, you have the First Amendment for now, but I mean, you've heard them saying disloyal media outlets should be punished. Hello, Laura. Oh, you are there. Hello.
Hello there. I apologise, my camera's not on. I look pretty frightful this morning.
That's completely okay. I think they changed a feature on StreamYard. Like I added you, but because your camera's not on, it didn't put up like a black square. I think that's a new feature that you can join audio only. There you go.
Well, I've joined audio only many times. If you remember earlier on in my transition and stuff.
Yeah.
So,
but there used to be a black square for a person who's joining audio only.
Yeah, that's right. With the avatar.
Yeah. So it's the first time this has happened. I think it's a new feature on StreamYard. There you go.
Yeah, so I'm there in spirit, just not in physical form on the
That's all
screen.
good.
Ah.
So you're talking about Canberra, Justin, the Senate candidate's a joke. They didn't bother to replace him because he's going to lose anyway. But it is interesting when the major parties run someone in a seat they're definitely going to lose. I don't know if it's meant to be a learning process because it's usually like in lower house seats when, like you're running against your opposition who are, they've got a 20% margin or something. So you're obviously going to lose the election. And it's usually someone young or new who's doing it's meant to be a learning experience, getting your face out there, going through the election process. So you've experienced it, even if the experience is getting soundly beaten.
So you were talking about President Chump, because that's my nickname.
Yes, we were.
President Chump. I came up with that many years ago during his first presidency, because you know how he has that thing about giving people horrible nicknames, and I know that he is so fragile that he would get really, really upset at someone giving him one.
Yep, but it has no effect on the weird freakazoids who support him.
True.
No matter what you do.
Yeah.
Hey,
Anyway,
mine's better.
The thing I was thinking about Trump is that a number of years ago, probably more like 15.
Yeah.
There were suggestions about the EU creating an army of their own, a bit like a NATO, but Europe.
Yeah.
And it's like what's going on right now is effectively that.
Yeah.
It's like we can't rely on America anymore. So I mean, it's not America. It's just Trump. We can't rely on Trump. I mean, it was bizarre last week watching. We literally had our Prime Minister Keir Starmer. Effectively, Donald Trump's like a toddler. A rich parent's toddler, and you have to sort of basically cajole him and coddle him to get things to happen. Otherwise he'll have a massive tantrum and just like lie on the floor screaming. That's effectively Donald Trump. And so our Prime Minister literally went to America and gave him a cool little present, which is you can meet the king. And Trump was like, "Ooh, piece of candy."
But Starmer basically filleted him. Starmer was a fucking disgrace.
I don't think so. I think he went with a goal, and he achieved the goal of, Trump not having a tantrum and saying, "Oh," because effectively, what Trump is pissed off at Europe for getting in the way of his Peace Prize. That's what Trump wants. Trump wants a Peace Prize. And so stopping this war, and he just goes to Russia. He doesn't care about Europe. He doesn't care about Ukraine. He just wants to talk to Putin without Ukraine having anything to say in the matter, especially Europe having something to say in the matter. And so Europe has been like, no, this is Europe. It's our next door neighbor.
Yeah.
We need to have a part in this. And Trump's like, how dare you try and get in the way of my prize? It's ridiculous. It's amazing. So, I think Keir Starmer did a good job at coddling an idiot toddler president so that he didn't have another lash out. And, we saw what happened with Zelensky.
Yeah, well,
that was just astonishing.
Maybe my opinion was already colored by the fact that I'm firmly of the opinion Keir Starmer is a repulsive piece of shit. He is an absolute. The idea of him leading Labour is a fucking travesty. He is absolute garbage, and he basically fucking filleted Trump. It was hideous to watch. It was absolutely appalling. And you can say all you like, he's nurturing the toddler. It just was repulsive.
Mm-hmm.
And Loogie, I just want to address, I actually understand you as an individual American saying you didn't want to be world police. To say the people who hold power in the United States didn't want to be world police, fairly categorically untrue. It's worth researching a bit of the history of American policy post-World War II, the extremely aggressive military interventions anywhere and everywhere that was perceived to be a threat to American commercial interests, not even military, just American companies, the number of governments, democratically elected governments that were overthrown because they threatened the financial interests of the US.
Domino theory.
As well. But you, as an individual American, I absolutely understand you feeling that way. And I think you're right as well. And also, Matt, hello. And where Laura is right is Trump is a toddler. Trump wants to feel special. He wants to be friends. He loves that Putin gives the outward displays of friendliness and support to him because he loves the idea of an authoritarian dictator liking him, because the mentality of Putin really appeals to Trump. So, Putin gives Trump exactly what he wants in a different way. And Trump is absolutely the mental and emotional stability of a fucking toddler.
Yeah, and the baby.
Absolutely. So Trump. Oh yes, Jude. Trump's cronies. That was ridiculous. That the whole Zelensky thing was ridiculous.
You know, I'm curious what people think here about whether that was set up or whether it was, just like on the fly. Do you think they specifically went in there to say, right, we're going to fuck over Zelensky today?
It's very hard to be sure. Like, there's the old saying, don't attribute malice where stupidity will explain it. But it's impossible. You can make a compelling case either way. I think that was a premeditated hit job, or they were just stupid enough to think that Zelensky wouldn't arc up and say, "What the fuck are you talking about?" But either way, it was extraordinarily amateurish and cringe.
It's not that. I mean, the whole just diplomatic niceties.
Yeah.
Like, we have had presidents and prime ministers meet Putin, and they nod and they shake hands and they, but that they think he's a piece of garbage.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
At least they put on the pretense of civilization.
Yeah.
Civil behavior. Whereas Trump hasn't got any of those abilities.
Senor Butts, I get what you're saying, the orange thing. Dr. Zayas being an orangutan. Dr. Zayas was intelligent and moderate in the ape world. But I get what you're saying about the orange. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, my dad said cut the hair again.
Your dad commented on my haircut.
Yeah, you gotta cut your hair.
I did cut my hair. It's shortest it's been for about 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, my dad said you put head.
What movie? What? He destroyed the plane? What movie are you talking about? Is that in the most recent one? I'm thinking of the 70s Planet of the Apes. The
Saw that.
orangutans in the original Planet of the Apes were the intelligent ones, the thinkers. The gorillas in the original Planet of the Apes were the violent ones. In the modern ones, you have chimps. Yeah, there are like 10 Planet of the Apes films going back to 1969. So
Yeah, my dad said your butt head.
I got a buff head.
Yep.
Yeah,
My dad
I mean
said.
that's no secret. We've done the number of, well, you've put my hat on once. Even Rob putting my hat on, and it comes down to here. I've got a ridiculously huge head.
What does
Yeah, I
what
know
does
that.
excuse me, I need to ask a question. What does buff mean?
Just big head.
Oh,
Buff,
okay.
Australianism,
Just
buff head
big
is a big
head.
head.
Gotcha.
Just a huge, big melon of a head. Depends what you mean by CIA conspiracies, Justin. Because it was kind of funny. Trump threatens the CIA, which is quite interesting. But on the one hand, Trump is clearly giving military and law enforcement absolutely free rein. They can do whatever they want. But he has, because he got upset that he was investigated by the FBI. So he's also kind of said that, you know, he was going to fire everyone at the CIA and the FBI. So it's impossible to know. You know, the JFK one. Well, again, I get what you're saying, but JFK was perceived as a different sort of threat. That he, you know, he's going to shut down the Vietnam War or whatever, where other people didn't want it shut down. That he was going to limit the power of the CIA, whereas Trump is just randomly saying weird shit, but yeah, it depends what he does. I mean, it would be an interesting exercise if he actually does things that shut down large aspects of the CIA. Would there be any blowback from that? Who knows? The moment he's just kind of all talk, and I don't really think anyone in the deep state actually feels threatened by Trump, because Trump is the establishment. Trump is everything he says he's opposed to, and yet his ridiculous shtick keeps working with people.
Oh yeah, I saw Rob on Monday.
Saw Rob on Monday.
Yeah.
How's Big Rob doing?
Rob's real good. I'm just gonna help. I help Rob's sister a lot of times.
Oh yeah, okay, cool. That's all good.
Yeah, I don't. You gotta see Rob's face. You gotta sad. You
Rob was
that,
sad.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know help. I don't help Rob. Yeah, I help Rob. It's his sister, Liz. Yeah, all right.
That's all right. All right. And yes, Jude, it is the whole Trump is, you know, Trump is the billionaire pedophile sex offender. Trump is the establishment. Stone Cold Steve Austin. Give Trump a Stone Cold cutter. What's Stone Cold Steve Austin
Eh,
doing? See, that always confused me because I'm old enough to have watched The $6 Million Man as a kid, and the fictional character in that, a NASA pilot who crashes an experimental plane and gets bits of his body replaced with cybernetics, or bionics as they call them. I think he's like both legs and his right arm and his right eye are robotic. And that was like the coolest show on TV when I was a kid, the $6 Million Man.
And if you stand behind him, you can look through his head.
Yeah, that's the. I was never rich enough to have the $6 Million Man doll, but a friend of mine did, where you could look in the hole in the back of his head, and he had a very cheap plastic lens for an eye. Oh yeah, Trump is, well, actually, God, very few people are as bad as Jimmy Savile, but Trump is, he's been adjudicated in court to be a rapist. There's an extremely long list of women who have credibly accused him of rape and sexual assault. He's boasted about going backstage at the Miss Teen USA pageants where the girls were undressed. And it's just like, he is the pedophile sex offender.
That boy's stomach's sick. That sick young boy.
He is very sick.
You got something in common with all those other women as well, because they felt sick.
Oh, definitely. Okay. Stone Cold was on Hot Ones turning red. I would not do that. I know that thing where the people, celebrities are promoting something, do a video eating the hot sauce. I wouldn't do it. Oh my God. Okay. To me, the most out there thing about Jimmy Savile is not the years of abusing young people, being covered, protected by the establishment. Tories, the royal family, the BBC, the Labour Party, like literally everyone protected Jimmy Savile for decades. And the most out there thing is not even the fairly close to being proved rumors that he was paying off a hospital to be able to sexually interfere with corpses in the morgue. No. The most out there thing about Jimmy Savile, because he gave a sympathetic interview to Peter Sutcliffe, the Yorkshire Ripper.
Oh, yeah.
When you track Jimmy Savile's movements, like where he was making public appearances and when Sutcliffe was murdering women, there is a non-zero chance Jimmy Savile was actively involved in the Yorkshire Ripper murders. So that's, to me, the most out there thing about Jimmy Savile is he may have been a serial killer. So...
Oh, yeah? It's hot day today and tomorrow.
Your dad's going to be a serial killer tomorrow?
No, it's a hot day. I said hot day.
Oh, yeah. We were saying that. We've got like
today.
a hot week. Lots of hot days.
Tomorrow. That's tomorrow. It's hot.
Sorry, I was just talking about being a serial killer, and I thought you said something about your dad tomorrow. It was just, your dad's going out to be a serial killer tomorrow. Okay, jeez.
Yeah, no.
Oh yeah, no. The absolutely unsettling shit Trump did with his own daughter is
Yeah.
Six up, man.
The MAGA, a bunch of deluded rednecks with too many guns. Back way. They are that. They are also the wealthiest and most powerful people in America. It's what you call a broad church. Ridiculous, stupid, ignorant rednecks, and at the same time, the richest and most powerful people in the country. Oh, they're very inclusive. Don't say they're not inclusive. They'll take anyone so long as you're a soulless piece of shit.
You mentioned Peter Sutcliffe.
Yeah.
That only happened less than 50 miles from where I live.
Yeah.
And the other big one was Dr. Harold Shipman, which is literally in the borough where I live.
Yeah. Now he was giving old people fatal overdoses, wasn't he?
Yeah.
So yeah, he is possibly the most prolific serial killer ever, because they can't be sure, because he would be treating old people and it was all like, oh, they're all dying of natural causes because they're old. And it was discovered that he was giving them lethal injections.
You know what it is that actually got started the investigation, don't you?
No, what was it?
He was basically forging papers to get their money. So he's killing people to get their money.
Yeah, killing people and saying he was in their will.
Yeah.
Yeah, that raised the suspicion. Yeah. Okay. So was it, Justin, you watched Psychologist Analyzing Interviews, like, oh, you're talking about Jimmy Savile, he was barely hiding it. Like, he had the running joke about, because he's always doing charity stuff, and he just had the running joke he would say about basically how he's going to be arrested on Monday. Yes, he was a shit man, Senor Butts. Although I think he spelt his name with a P. But yes, it is fair to say he was shitty. I see it killed a lot of people. So, it was supposed to be the doctor's oath, do no harm. He didn't take that very seriously. But we live in a strange and twisted world. That's all I'm going to say. It is a very strange and twisted world. But, we had... I guess he counts as a serial killer, Ivan Milat, in a sort of country bit of highway over a number of years. He was kidnapping and murdering backpackers, like people who'd be hitchhiking in a remote area, and he'd pick them up and carry them away. He was one of two murderers the character in Wolf Creek was based on. Another one was a guy, I don't know that he was particularly a serial killer, but he did pick up a British couple, and the woman actually escaped and survived and was able to identify him. But yes, those two Australian killers were the inspiration for the killer in Wolf Creek, which genuinely unsettling movie. Sequel, well, like most sequels, is not as good. It's not terrible. It's not as good. What's our temperature now? I'm starting to feel a little cold in here. Like I want to go out and adjust my air conditioning. What's the temperature? Okay, still 27. So I don't want to turn my air conditioning off. I just want to cool down a bit. Oh, that's right. There was a Wolf Creek series too, wasn't there? It was on a subscription service that I don't subscribe to. All right, I'm going to disappear for just about a minute because I might have a pee break while I'm out there. But I'm just going to change the temperature on the air conditioner so it's not too cold.
And now I find myself trying to think of something to say. Do you keep people entertained while he's away? So it's always when you're on the spot. Normally I've got no problem with something to say. But now I can't think of anything immediately. We can always go with Donald Trump. That's always a good one. So, Angry was saying about how the US had done all sorts of awful things following World War II. A chunk of it was the domino theory, which was, if we allow countries to fall to communism, then a whole bunch will go with them. So we need to stop the Russians. and the most ludicrous version of it was oh, I forgot what it was called. Island south, like the Cuba kind of an area, but not Cuba. Starts with G. Gren. Oh, for crying out loud, what's it called? So Grenada, that was it. So Cubans were building an airport, and so they decided they were going to invade it, and they had an election where the guy had, had more socialist feelings, and so they needed to defeat him as a part of the same mentality.
Thank you for keeping the troops entertained while I was gone, Laura.
Yeah, I was talking about Grenada.
Ah,
How they invaded the island because there was a politician that was a bit too socialist for them, and on the guys that. I didn't actually finish what I was going to say, but effectively it was the only way that Ronald Reagan could fulfill his "we shall reduce communism" or prevent the expansion of communism.
Yeah.
And he
the grand tradition post World War II, the US declaring what political system other countries were allowed to have. Yeah. FW, these messages for Angus Young, comparing him to Ivan Milat for political integrity. Nice. Good evening to you, Hannah.
Hello.
Yeah, Justin, well, much, 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 much lesser offenders than Jimmy Savile getting outed in social media these days. I mean, people who've got away with heinous shit for far too long. But I think you're actually right. Savile would have got done because it was an open secret in entertainment. As far back as the late 70s, Johnny Rotten, in an interview with the Sex Pistols, basically said, well, why are you so upset at us when there's people like Jimmy Savile going around? Got banned from the BBC for telling the truth about Jimmy Savile. Oh, yes, Cyclone Prep. Goodness me. I hope, nothing too severe happens.
Mm.
We're going the old, the anti-communist stuff and the crack epidemic in the 80s. The coke. Oh my. Who's in the movie? Johnny Depp in Blow, a dramatization of the story of the guy who brought like 80% of all the cocaine that came into America in the 70s and 80s. It's like, God damn.
It's not quite the same thing, but one of the things we're having a problem with in the UK is, like criminal gangs having guns.
Yes.
And the problem that, previously before this guy I'm going to mention, so a lot of the time it was like grandpa's World War One gun. So a revolver that's older than all of us territory.
Yes.
Turn of the century almost, things like that.
Yeah.
And there was one instance in Liverpool where a little kid got killed. He was like 10 or something like that.
Yeah.
Because some idiot gang member was shooting at another gang member, at a rival, and the bullets weren't the correct size for the gun. So they basically bounced off the sides of the barrel and went off on a weird angle and killed the kid instead.
Yeah. Okay.
But about, we're probably talking about 15 years ago now, I'd say. But there was an American who was jailed in the UK for bringing guns in. He literally brought hundreds of guns into the UK, mostly pistols. Not revolver types, just your
semi-automatics. Yeah.
Yeah. So no, not even semi-automatics, just just a normal. Yeah. Anyway,
9mm.
yeah, your normal American shooty gun. Oh no, wait a minute, those are AR-15s. I'm sorry.
Handguns.
Anyway, but basically, what happened was he misused a system that was there, which was he would fly from somewhere like Charlotte in South Carolina, and with guns in his suitcase, which was legal. However, when he got to, and he would do it via, he was flying into Manchester, but he was going via New York or somewhere like that.
Yeah.
And they just transferred bags from one plane to another. They didn't X-ray or anything. They didn't have a vetting system. So like, okay, this person has guns. These are now going to a different country, and that's not legal. So we'd better remove those guns. No. They didn't even think about that kind of thing. So he was basically going from one airport via another in order to bring them in the UK, and they didn't, So, and it was only when 9/11 effectively the changes. Slow changes.
Airport screenings, yeah.
Yeah, so basically in the UK they started having X-ray scanners for the bags coming off the air, out of the system, and that's how he got caught. But yeah, he brought like several hundred guns into the UK, and that's where the gangs got them from.
Because freedom.
Yeah. The biggest problem the gangs have got, of course, is ammunition. It's very difficult to get ammunition. It was okay finding the gun, but effectively, you couldn't get the gun batteries.
Yeah. All right. So just look at Hannah's here. The cyclone's headed directly to where you are in the north of Brisbane, and not in a flood area, but the surrounding areas are. Get water damage from rain, debris. Oof. Okay, well, batten down the hatches. I hope nothing too severe happens. But yeah, everyone appears to be bracing themselves for the landfall of this tropical cyclone for the first time in what feels like a while. Major population centers threatened by a tropical cyclone. But yes.
Oh, by the way, remember I was saying about the Harold Shipman thing?
Yes.
Apparently, he murdered at least 215 people.
Wowzers. That does put him in the record books.
Yeah, he was convicted for 15 because they could prove those easily.
Yes. Yeah, that's what I remember hearing. They only bothered to convict him of ones they knew they could absolutely prove. But the suspicion was that it was so much higher.
And the other bit that was funny was, I'm going to say funny in a cynical sense, of course. But he also got 4 years for forging a will.
Just in case murder becomes regarded as a less serious crime.
Yeah.
So you get cyclones like that up north every year, but not this far south. Yeah, that's what I think, particularly not. Yeah, famously in 1975, Darwin was basically destroyed by Cyclone Tracy. And yes, northern Queensland and Northern Territory get subjected to tropical cyclones all the time. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't remember there being major damage and loss of life in a population centre since Cyclone Tracy. Lots of flood damage, and people do get killed, but usually a comparatively small number. But yeah, everyone's very wary of this one, and just really.
Did you say that Darwin? Did you say that Darwin was almost destroyed?
The city of Darwin in 1975, Christmas Eve, was basically destroyed. It was basically leveled by Cyclone Tracy.
Correct. I wonder how many people wish it was just Perth instead.
Yeah, Perth's too far south. But yeah.
I'm more making a joke that apparently Perth has a bit of a reputation.
Well, we have a couple of Perthites regulars on the stream. Home for the Elderly and Rays are both in Perth.
Ah.
Yeah, it depends what you mean by reputation. Like, apparently it was much cheaper for young Brit holiday makers to fly into Perth than it was to fly into Sydney. So you ended up with a noticeably large population of British backpackers in Perth. Safa, I didn't open the huge parcel. Home for the Elderly wants me to wait until party night, but the huge parcel is still just sitting here. I opened the small parcel, which was GoPro batteries and a charger, which was nice. And I did show off your postcard, thank you, of a dam in Albury Wodonga. Lake Hume and the Hume Dam. And I do have this one. I have one from Celtic King. I think we got new religious tracts.
Yeah.
This one we've had a few times. What's this one? Jesus said, "I am the door." I'm not familiar with that phrase.
It's in Paul. No, sorry, no, it's not. It's in
John.
John. Yeah.
Chapter 10, verse 9. Works or grace, death or deliverance, sin or savior, hell or heaven. What must I do to be saved? Jesus said, "The time is fulfilled, kingdom of God is at hand. Repent ye and believe in the gospel." Well, it wasn't really, was it? Anyway.
I had the comedy of having some mostly one-sided debate with a Christian street preacher the other day. I say one-sided because he did a lot of talking over me.
Yeah.
And because he had an amplifier with a headset mic, then he kept trying to drown me out.
They do that. But I've got an invitation to Shoalhaven Baptist Church. But the big drum roll, a Jack Chick tract. These are the absolute classics. I have not seen. Oh, sorry. Yes, if you missed it, that's Hannah just talking in the background. Yes.
Yes.
Sorry. I mean, Laura. Too.
Yes. Hello.
If you're fine in the flood, you'll be okay this time. Yeah. So, a Jack Chick tract. These are the absolute classics of weirdo fucking religious. So the chaplain. I won't go through it. So it's set in war in the Middle East. Nice stereotype pictures. Death to the infidels. Where's your God now, preacher boy? And so this guy just keeps praying. He gets made fun of for being religious and he prays, and the soldier says, "Nothing can save us now. But where did the wind come from, say the dirty Arabs? I can't see a thing. The sand is blinding me. Pull back." Yes, that was a real thing. And the guy says, "God did that for us." And the other says, "It wasn't God. It was a freak storm. We were lucky." Oh wow!
Is, of course,
so one of his friends die, and the soldier says, "Is Max in heaven, preacher?" He says, "No, he died in his sins, and Jesus will reject him." Wow. Fuck you too. Tell me what you know about it. Oh my God! The concept of a soldier saying, American soldier saying this. The religious guy says, "Tell us what you know about Jesus, Benny." And that's something. But the response, "Oh, he was a Jew. Some guys killed on a cross because he wrote the Bible." The idea that an American soldier would say that is hilarious.
Now,
Tell me about Jesus. He's not who you think he is. Jesus Christ created the universe. Oh, God, TV said Jesus was only a man. That's a lie, Benny. You're scaring me, preacher. On Judgment Day, you'll be judged. But it's stuff I don't want anybody to see. Those are sins, Benny. They'll put you straight to hell. Oh, does that mean I'm dead? You will be, but there is a way out. Think about the guy you hate the most. All the rotten things you do. Dex Wilson. Oh, I hate that guy. I want him dead. Would you die for Wilson? Are you kidding? I'd kill the stinking rat. Jesus died for your sins, and Wilson's too, Benny. What would Jesus do with it? Oh, God. Yeah, okay, there's going to be some final resolution. Everyone get in the truck. So, Chaplain, we're landing in 1 hour, and you'll be flown by chopper to the forward lines. And then they're in action, and a grenade gets thrown at them, and the preacher throws himself on it. And as he's dying breath, he says, I couldn't let you die, Benny. You're not ready. Oh, and then the replacement is a jerk. Oh, he's non-denominational. Sorry. I'm sorry. If you ever get a chance to read Jack Chick tracts, do it. Tracts. They're worth it. They all look like this. They're a little rectangular black and white thing, and the cover will be a little color thing there and the name there. They're fucking hilarious because Jack Chick apparently hated everyone.
He was fair that way.
Yeah. Madam Butterfly, we're supposed to get a thunderstorm. Rain, strong winds. You want the power to go out so you can leave work. I like that attitude. Threw a video on Discord last time we got massive water damage from torrential rain. Let me see. Oh, I don't think that's playing as a video. Or is it just I can't see something? No, it's showing up weirdly. It's showing up as a still, Hannah. I've seen videos like that where water pours out of a light fitting, which I always find incredibly unsettling and think someone's going to get electrocuted.
You know, it's funny because when America was having like the winter snow and it was like really deep or something because it was a big thing. And so someone on Twitter, which I've stopped using now. I'm now on Blue Sky. Yeah. But someone on Twitter posted a picture of like, you open your door to this and it's like up to the handle, in snow. And, so you wake up and to be greeted by this. What's your response? What's your response? And I'll be like, I would be exceptionally worried because I live on the 10th floor.
Yeah, that's serious snow at that point.
I mean, if the if the polar ice caps melt because of it'll be fine for me because the sea will rise and I will have a wonderful beach view.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, climate change. I'll end up in a waterfront property because I'm a couple suburbs away from the coast.
And
it's a whole thing. Actually, only one suburb over is quite low lying in floods. In heavy rain, they regularly get flooded.
Yeah.
So
I've seen the climate change deniers used glass, ice in a glass to say that's not possible. That, you know, if you put ice in there and you fill it up, it won't go. The ice will melt, but it won't go higher than the brim. And you then have to try to tell them, yeah, but you know, polar ice has been iced upon iced upon iced upon for centuries, thousands of years even, and that it's really compacted. So if that melts, it doesn't work the same as normal water. It is it has a lot more density to it. The ice is packed more densely.
Yeah. But it's not even just that. It's above sea level. It's not at the sea level. So if I stack ice up to here, when that melts, it will overflow the glass.
Yes.
But yes.
No. I mean, you know, you put an ice cube in water in a glass, and you fill
Yeah,
it
I know
up.
what you're saying. But that's the thing, that they do that and it's still not up to the level of the glass. That's the thing, is the polar ice is not at the level of the sea. It's millions of tons of it above the sea.
Yeah.
And so if I stack the glass up with ice to here, when that ice melts, the glass overflows.
Mm. And of course, that doesn't mention the stuff that's under the sea.
Well, that too.
Tip of the iceberg stuff, you know.
Yes. Yeah. But again, I do tend to find that very little value in responding to climate change deniers on any level, because reality and scientific observation don't matter to them at all. Just their ridiculous bullshit talking points.
Yeah.
And there's not much point in engaging with people. It's the same as Trumpies. There's like no point engaging with them, because they just talk ridiculous shit.
Do you know one of my favorite Trump bullshit things? I mean, you know, there's so many of them to choose from, but one of my favorite sort of like, you have no idea what the fuck you're talking about territory ones.
Yeah.
Was the one where he was claiming that there's basically a big tap in the north, and that would supply water for the south.
Oh, right. Yes.
Because he doesn't understand that, you know, if you look at a map, the water, you know, the bit at the top might be lower than the bit at the bottom. He doesn't understand. He thinks, oh, the water flows down.
Yeah, it's again. It's just like every time he opens his mouth, he says something just bizarrely stupid.
Yeah. So one of the things that he commanded to happen was a reservoir, you know, a dam reservoir.
Yeah.
He demanded that the water be allowed to flow down. It didn't get anywhere near the bottom of California where the fires were going on, but he was saying that he went, and his actions went and solved most of that problem by making sure it was water. The thing about it is, none of it actually got to anywhere near LA or even San Francisco.
No, it was.
But more importantly. Yeah, but more importantly, that winter rain that fills it up is used to irrigate the crops during the summer and the planting season. So now he has made the problem worse, because now there's not going to be enough water to feed the plants, to water the plants.
Yeah.
They're not going to be able to be properly irrigated because of an idiot who has no idea how maps work and how the system there works.
Yeah, well, the infrastructure generally is going to collapse in the next 4 years. So, you know, it's going to... Northern beaches of Sydney won't have anything to complain. What, just because they'll be underwater? And actually, Safa, I think that's a reasonable estimate. Probably 25% of the US population are rabid Trump supporters. That's probably a fair number. It's like the support for the Republican Party is roughly 50%. The support for the Democratic Party is roughly 50%. But
No, that's only the people who vote.
no, but even non-voters, that's roughly the support. But yeah, if you're talking about actual die-hard Trump supporters, I think 25% of the total population is a fair guess. I mean, kind of impossible to empirically prove, but that's the thing. A decent chunk of the people who voted for him and who support the Republican Party wouldn't call themselves radical Trump supporters, but they'll do whatever for politics. But yes, being a bystander to the rise of totalitarianism, you're just as guilty.
You know, I haven't actually been here for, I don't know, have I been here this year? I can't remember.
I don't know.
I have. It's more been down to sleeping patterns and stuff like that. Look at me, I'm awake at 10:35 in the morning. That's
There
pretty
you go.
bad.
Sorry, just got to wish Hannah all the best doing more storm prep.
Yeah, good luck.
Good luck. Yes. Oh gosh, they have Jack Chick comics on Kindle. Good Lord. You can probably search them online. I find them absolutely hilarious. Like, they're so unhinged and he goes so hard. And you just look through it and it's like his weird little fringe Christian cult is the only true religion. So basically, he hates all the mainstream Christian religions because they're all working for the devil. So yeah, forget even Muslims, Hindus, Jews, any other religion. They're obviously the devil. But in his book, also 99% of Christians are going to hell.
You know, it's quite funny because I remember thwarting an idiot in America, a religious moron, because he made a video claiming that there were more Christians than there were atheists, by like a magnitude of 10, or 100 or something like that. I can't remember, but it wasn't such a long time ago. And so I went into his version of this, a Hangout, and I told him this isn't true, that there are 30 million more atheists than there are Christians. And he laughed and cackled and, and said, okay, what's your proof? And I said, my proof is G-Man, him, saying how Mormons, Jehovah's Witnesses and Catholics aren't Christians. And he then spent the next 5 minutes telling me that I was wrong and he could count them as Christians because they claim they're Christians, but they're not Christians really. He didn't say those words in the same, but he said they're not saved, which means they're not Christians really.
Yeah.
So, and he thought he'd beaten me by quoting what I just said near enough.
Yes. But again, that's another group of people for whom logical arguments, I hope you feel good when you're making them because it's of no value to these freaking weirdos.
But the thing is, the people watching his Hangout were laughing.
Yeah.
Because, it's like he's just had someone, he just told the person who told them he was wrong, even though they just quoted what he'd said previously. It's hilarious. It was in my little community at the time.
Yeah. But I mean, there's a version of that, it's like, why don't you believe in God? I said, well, you don't believe in God. It's basically 99.99% of humans that existed think your God is bullshit. Where's the arrogance that you think you're right? And again, you get more violent schisms between Christians than you do between Christians and other religions. Same as within other religions, you get more aggressive schisms within those religions than the conflict between them and totally different religions.
It's something that a guy called Matt Dillahunty said, if you want to know what's wrong with the First Baptist Church, ask the Second Baptist Church.
Yeah.
You know, because effectively it's the book of multiple choice. It's
Yeah.
a choose your own adventure. Which verses you're going to focus on
Yeah.
means you have a different outcome each time. And you know, the guy I was talking to the other day, and I found it comically amusing that, you know, I literally showed him in the book that he had in his hand that there were 4 versions of how many angels were in the tomb: 1, 2, or none, and
Yeah.
one later. And he'd like, no, they all say the same thing. Like, no,
Yeah. Well, okay.
no, it's literally not saying the same thing.
Any Bible literalist is it's absolutely a waste of time to talk to them, because, you know, I think it's always best summed up by Ned Flanders when he thought God had abandoned him. Like, why'd you abandon me, God? I obeyed everything in the Bible, even the parts that contradicted the other parts.
Yeah. You know, it's the thing about it is, when I'm debating this, you know, people on the internet, and they've got viewers, so like us, we've got viewers watching, kind of thing. You know, when you're on their channel and you're doing this, and when you're on the street and there's people who just walk by ignoring them, and then when they see someone debating, it's like, oh, entertainment. So you know, I am effectively showing up the guy that's telling people how they should live their life. You know,
Yeah.
I asked him, is lying and stealing always wrong in every circumstance, in every situation? And he said, yes. And so I gave him the no, Mr. Nazi, there aren't any Jews in my attic for lying. And there's if I steal the gun of a friend who's looking, you know, having mental stability issues, and he's threatening him about shooting them all. Literally, I would be saving lives by stealing the gun so he can't do it. You know,
Yeah.
virtuous, you know, rule breaking, so to speak. And he, you know, and he just diverted to something else because he knew what I was saying was rational. But
Yeah.
as soon
Yeah.
as I said it, he had to
And
jump to
again,
something else. And all those people watching watched it happen. They
yeah,
watched him
rationality has
divert, and I
no
said, "You
place
diverted to something
in
else.
religious
Why did we deal with
discussion.
that previous one?" As well, but Jesus is Lord, you know, etc. You know, you know. But I don't go. I'm not an anti-theist.
I
My
am.
approach my approach is very British. It's you know, if you believe, fine. If you don't believe, fine. As long as you're not in someone's face about it, who cares? You know, it's a personal thing for people in Britain. So when you get these street preachers saying you better do what my God says or else, well, screw you. I'm going to debate you on that, and I'm going to enjoy watching you embarrass yourself when I show the literal contradictions. When I show, you know, that yes, your Bible has slavery in it. It has the rules for slavery. How do you get out of this problem? If God must be accepting of slavery, so why do you think slavery is bad then, right?
Yeah.
And occasionally you'll get them say, no, slavery is acceptable because God,
Yeah.
anything God says is right.
Yeah. So I'm just going to say good day to you, Senor Butts McGee. I hope your work day is an acceptable experience.
Yeah. My new strategy that I've got with them is to say that I don't have any sins. Because like everybody has sinned. Well, not me. I don't have any sins at all. Because the thing is, sin from the religious point of view is breaking God's ordinances. You know, breaking God's rules. Well, I don't believe in that God to have you know, any rules to be giving. So I reject the premise of sinning against a God that doesn't exist.
It's not really an argument, though. You're saying, I don't believe the thing you believe. But yeah, I get where you're coming from, because I also don't buy into it. Has someone said that, Safa, or is that just something you're floating as an idea? The idea that there'd be foreign peacekeepers, possibly including Australians, in Ukraine. I mean, it feels to me like that's abstraction upon abstraction there. So I don't think there's okay, Albanese said it today. Okay. Speaking of abstractions, but I mean, that does happen around the world. It's a very weird and volatile situation, and it's quite impossible to know what's happening, what's going to happen, how it's going to play out, what Europe's going to do. So
The thing that I found most interesting about Donald Trump's approach is how Ukraine needs to bend over backwards to just give Trump what he wants, and it's like there's an easy way to stop this war immediately, and that is for Putin to tell his troops to go home.
yeah,
You stop shooting missiles.
was saying that unfortunately it worked. That someone hooked me because they just started saying stupid things because the ABC News was on, and it's like, Zelensky and Trump's withdrawn the aid. And I went, well, Trump's going to do all manner of insane shit, and then they were just going like, was literally doing the Trump line of, Ukraine should stop fighting, and I went, they got invaded by a fascist dictator.
Yeah,
it was like but they should stop the war. You know what would stop the war? If Russia withdrew.
yeah.
It's and it was just like a brick fucking wall. It was just like, what?
Do you know?
I think even Trump would, if you said to Trump, it would stop if Russia withdrew, and then Trump would just rabbit on about, well, why they won't. But this was just a surreal experience for me, and I'm like, how the fuck did I get dragged into this? This is horrible. Because I'm at work, so I don't want to just go, shut the fuck up. You're a fucking idiot. But this person was a fucking idiot. And it was just like, I don't want to have this guy, but shut up. Because it's just like, and then just going, Zelensky's not even popular. I know Ukrainians who don't like it. It's like, shut the fuck up.
I know Americans that don't like Trump. Does that mean to say that
Yeah.
Trump isn't popular in many ways?
Yeah, and it's just like, oh my fucking God. You're literally saying, you should capitulate to a fascist dictator. I mean, Europe's got a bad track history of that.
Yeah.
Letting a fascist dictator invade countries, not good.
One of the interesting things that's come out of it is when Trump went to organized having talks with Russia. It was effectively, people were describing it like Chamberlain and appeasement. I've got a letter from Hitler saying he won't invade anybody else.
Yeah.
And then he goes into Poland. So people have sort of tried, suggested that mirrors Chamberlain and appeasement. And other people have pointed out, actually, it's worse than that. It's alignment. Because,
it is. Because
when they're saying, when they're voting against a resolution, which isn't going to happen anyway at the UN because, there's always been the veto. The big, the top nations, including Russia. America sided with Russia and North Korea.
Yeah.
North Korea. Even fucking China abstained.
Yeah.
So when your government is aligning with North Korea, what the fuck is going wrong with you?
Well, yeah. What indeed? We're saying, Matt, Trump is surrounded by... Yeah, he genuinely has been surrounded by them. Yeah. And you're saying, like, no one in his circles challenged him. Like Justin said earlier, like, Trump should have been stopped. But Trump wasn't stopped because the Republican Party are soulless monsters who do anything for power. And the Democratic Party are spineless fucking wusses.
Yeah.
Oh, Safa, do you mean to say you're not renewing your Russian passport? Was that a headline? Michael Caine said, calm down, Trump. I could try. No, I would do such a bad. I try to do Michael Caine. No, I should stop trying to do Michael Caine. I am
Michael
not.
Caine has told people they should calm down.
Yeah, that's way better than my Michael Caine.
It wasn't very good. I went to school with Michael Caine, you know. Not the Michael Caine, just a kid called Michael Caine. Just
Yeah.
as an FYI. Didn't want Safa getting confused.
No, this is true. Oh, I saw that Dolly Parton's husband of almost 60 years. Like, they got married when they were like early 20s and stayed together 60 years. That's incredible.
That's impressive for people to stay married that long.
Especially in the entertainment industry.
Yeah, they must have a really, really big house.
I think so.
That's a joke
Well,
saying they live separate lives.
Yes, no, I get the joke. Yeah. Ooh, that's an interesting one. Renouncing Russian citizenship. How does that work? Because that gets very weird with some countries. Some countries it's incredibly easy. And other countries actually make it really quite difficult to fully renounce your citizenship. And of course, we had all that weirdness in Australian politics, the number of politicians who didn't realize they were technically dual citizens because they were born in Australia, but some countries have citizenship laws that if both your parents were born there, even if you get born in another country, that gives you citizenship rights in this country. And in Australian constitutional law, you can't serve in Parliament if you're a dual citizen. You have to be a purely Australian. Matt Canavan, piece of shit, blamed his mum. But I think it did highlight there's some pretty stupid things in the law, and it should be revisited, the number of politicians who got caught out.
There's an amusing thing with ex-Mormons when they get what's the religious thing when they get like
Excommunicated.
Excommunicated, yes. It's like to use a trans analogy, it's like getting the surgery.
Yeah.
It's a moment of celebration. Yes, I've been excommunicated.
Yeah, it's for the very strict religions, not just Christianity, it can understandably be very liberating from the people to, become apostate, to be cast out of the religion. It's like, yeah, fuck you too. I want out. I'm glad you say I am officially out because fuck you.
Do you know what my favorite religious group are? In just of like the whole general sense of that group's mentality to going to heaven, etc. It's the Jehovah's Witnesses. So according to their system, there's only a certain amount of seats on the plane, so to speak. The
Yes,
plane goes to Jesus.
Limited number of spaces in heaven.
Yes, and so they stand on the street trying to get people to join their religion, which means that every single person that they convince might be shoving them off the plane.
Yeah. Although, now here's an interesting twist on the evangelizing of the J-dubs and the door knocking, because 99% of the time they get told to fuck off and they go around in groups. I read, and I don't know how accurate this is, that those public preaching and door knocking is done to expose particularly younger people in the congregation to animosity from outsiders, because then that's reinforced to them. Yep, you have to stay within the church because everyone outside is really mean and angry and will hurt you. This hypothesis was saying those preaching and door knocking enterprises aren't meant to convert anyone. It's meant to lock in people who are already in the congregation. I actually have no idea how accurate that is, but I thought it was an interesting concept.
I'm the kind of idiot. Not idiot. Sorry, I'm the kind of jerk that invites them in and then, effectively berates their belief in front of them for an hour.
Oh God, someone in Western Sydney, maybe in the Blue Mountains years ago, invited some Mormons in and gave them biscuits they were hash brownies. And of course, the Mormons wandered out, got progressively higher, freaked out, and then they went like, "Oh my God, this guy gave us these biscuits. It must have been him." And so the cops went to his place and said, "Did you dose the Mormons?" And he just giggled and went, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Dude, that's a criminal offense. Don't admit to it just because you think it's funny." So Matt, you're in a country town, and the J Dubs are in the same. Yeah, it is, like I said, it is potentially just to lock people into the congregation to get negativity from everyone else. I don't know. What do I have for dinner?
One of my favorite little ones was there's a bunch of oh crap, but I forgot what they're called. They're Christians, but the flower, the petals.
I know. While you're thinking, I'm just going to tell Safa. I finished the thing I was having the other night, which was like chicken and pasta bake. It was huge, and it was many meals, and I just finished it tonight. Rays, you got in just in time to say what's up and good night.
Bye.
Be going to bed in a few minutes, but good to see you, man.
Okay, I've remembered now.
Yeah.
So it's Calvinists. So Calvinists are like the one of the earliest Protestant churches.
Yes.
So it's like basically the Catholics.
They're one of the really strict, austere churches, Calvinists.
Yes. So basically, their position is that I call it aristocratic Christianity. Effectively, not everybody gets to go to heaven. It's already pre-decided. God already decided before anybody was born or any of that kind of stuff who's going to go to heaven. Everybody else just goes to hell. And so, and they, they talk as if like they're, that they need to live a proper life. Otherwise, they won't even be able to get in, but they think they're the elect, of course. Anyway, yeah. So, there was a group of them as a Yahoo group back in the day when it was Yahoo, Google.
Yeah, I remember that.
And stuff. And so they were using, I play the Games Workshop stuff, the Warhammer stuff.
Yes.
So there are the Inquisitors, and they seek out heresy against the Emperor of mankind, the God Emperor. Okay. Well, they were using their logo, and it's got heresy written on it because like Catholics are heretics, right? So they were using this. I kind of went to them quietly and I said, "Look, you really need to stop using that logo. Make your own, because it's Games Workshop, who own the copyright for that logo, are really litigious about it.
They really are. Yes.
And I sent them some, and they're like, "Oh no, it'll be fine. Don't worry about it." I said, "No, really, seriously, find yourself something else, even if you have to make your own version of the same thing, because and here's examples of them going after, people just like creating heads that people can stick on their own models territory.
Yeah.
Because copyright." And so, ultimately they agreed. I mean, I said, "I will make you one themselves." And they said, "No." I suspect because they didn't like the idea of an atheist contributing to their, evangelism, you see. Nothing I do could possibly be good. So therefore, I couldn't even make something. Obviously, I'd be tricking them or something like that. Even if I had the best of intentions, still I'm evil and, can't be trusted. So ultimately they did change it, and that was all fine. But I had access to the Yahoo group. I just kept quiet and just watched stuff.
Yeah.
And ultimately the group had a massive schism, which ironically, one of the big ones, Matt Slick, his name is, he was one of the group. One of them that left the group. and the guy who ran the group, he gave him the biggest platform he had, and yet, because of this one thing, and you're going to love this. Is it okay to allow your kids to believe in Santa?
Oh, but yeah, some of them get really worked up by that.
They had a massive schism over this, and half of them basically divorced.
Yeah,
it was a really bad divorce.
Yeah,
and
conservative Christians and Santa is like white supremacists and curry. Is this a good or a bad thing? Sorry, because I'm going to go to bed, so I need to go through a few things. Raise, why did you have a cortisone shot in your foot? I didn't know that hurt. And Heine, I didn't open the huge parcel because although Home for the Elderly was here briefly, I think he wants me to wait to party night to open that. But he did send me a small one, which was GoPro batteries and a charger for them. So maybe I'll have less GoPro problems from now on. So we're talking about who's going to be in soccer and whatnot. Yeah, I don't know. Plantar fasciitis. Yeah, Mrs. Angry gets that a bit too.
Oh, I've got it now.
Yeah, you got it from your job. Yeah, there you go.
I got it in my right foot. There you go. I've got a picture for you.
I did have lunch with Ruka-san. So what's this? Sorry, wait. What's
this? Is an example of how awful they are. So basically, it's like God gives children cancer. Is that good and moral? God can do whatever he wants with the child, and if he decides to bring judgment and death to the child, he does.
Yeah, but again, it is quite. The thing is, like, I just hope you have a good time with the debates because it has no effect on these fucking morons. And it's like, religion should stay out of science and education. And we'll keep common sense out of your churches, okay? So do that. Anyway, I am going to go to bed now. Thank you for joining in, Laura. Thank you, everyone in chat, for coming in and saying hi as well. In all probability, I'll be back on Thursday. Like I said, anything could happen. But either on Thursday or Friday or maybe even Saturday, we'll open. It's a major effort of willpower on my part to not open the big parcel.
Is it just me, or did you just sound like the commander of Stingray? Anything can happen in the next half hour.
Maybe. Who knows?
Anyway, radio. Bye-bye, everybody.
Praying for Razor's feats, and going to see you another time. Bye for now.
Bye. You are totally fucked!